Hello everybody and thanks for tuning in. My name is Taylor Matos and I'm a salesperson here at Lawrence Hall Chevrolet in Abilene, Texas. I've created a new YouTube page as well as a new Facebook page to get information to people that might be interested. Both video walkarounds on vehicles that are in stock that I want to show off, and as well vehicles that people might ask me for personalized overviews. So anybody that knows me knows that I will pick the 2015 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray as my first video walkaround, so bear with me as I kind of try this out for the first time. So obviously it's completely redesigned in 2014. The 15 kind of takes that and builds on a few little things. The one we have here is a 1LT ZF1 appearance package, which gives us the bigger 19-inch wheels and 20-inch wheels in the back. It does have a full-length spoiler that will mimic what's called a Z51 package, which is a performance package. This one is sharp gray is the color. This one's a new color for 2015. On the interior, we've equipped it with the adrenaline red Moulin leather interior, which of course leather is standard. This one is a 7-speed manual car. And what that means is, obviously it's a shift your own gear. The 7-speed does get the active rev match, which is an amazing technology feature. I spent 2 days in Pahrump, Nevada at Ron Fellow School of Performance Driving with the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Sales Academy. I was very fortunate to be able to attend that. So let me tell you from experience, that 7-speed with that rev match is very easy to drive. Everybody can drive it, and on top of that, it's really, really fun. So performance-wise, this vehicle makes 455 horsepower out of the LT1 6.2-liter V8. That can be bumped up with the optional multi-mode exhaust, which this vehicle does have. It is an option on this vehicle without the Z51 package. We did go ahead and put it on there. So that bumps it up 5 horsepower and 5 torque, so it makes 460 horsepower on this vehicle. So you have another option on this one that we put is the transparent roof. This is an option. The factory roof would be color matched, in this case sharp gray, made out of carbon fiber. This one is a transparent top that you can see through. It appears black probably in the video. And then other options we did do was the navigation with performance data recorder, or with PDR for short. Now the PDR, if you haven't heard of it or seen it work, is a really, really cool feature. It's paired together with the navigation, and essentially we have a HD camera that will record both audio and video on your drives whenever you turn it on. So you just stick a little memory card SD into the dash, and it will use it as a storage, just like the GoPro I'm recording this on. So you can choose to do just a basic overview video and audio for a drive that you might be taking through scenic country, or maybe you're just going to be having a nice safety backup, almost like a dash cam built into the car. Or if you're going to be doing a little bit more spirited driving, there's another mode called Sport and Track. As you get more into Sport and Track, you'll get more information shown to you. Things like throttle position, gear selection, braking input, steering angle, accelerometer, showing you how many G-forces you're pulling, and the track setting will even add lap timers so that you can tune your driving on a racetrack so that you can shave off those precious lap times if you get competitive. So it's a really, really neat feature. Talking about the inside, I'm going to bring it in here with us and show you a little bit of what's available on this car, what's standard. And personally, I love this car because it's priced right. This one has an MSRP $62,570. The base with nothing on it starts at $55,000. So to get one that's fully loaded, Z51 3LT with everything on it, you're going to be upwards of 70, mid-70s, 74, 75, what I've seen them, depending on colors and options. So this one is really a bargain. Manual. Everybody likes a manual Corvette. They're really easy to drive. And then the 1LT, which gives us some of the more equipped car stuff that for somebody that's an enthusiast that just wants to drive a Corvette, it's really a really good deal. So again, it means a lot to me. Appreciate y'all watching. Let's go ahead and talk about the inside. I'll show you the MyLink screen, the shifters, the driver information center. So let's take a peek. Alright, welcome to the interior of the 2015 Stingray Corvette. As you can see, we have a little welcome screen showing up in the driver information center, and as well the MyLink touchscreen radio. I don't know if it's hard to tell in here, see anything. It is about 9:45 on a Friday evening that I'm being able to use this time to go ahead and make this video, so bear with me. If it's not the best, I can always redo this if somebody wants a little bit better look at the interior. It's kind of a interesting setup I've got here. I've got the camera mounted to a little bracket here in between the seats, so if you see my big face like this, I'll try to keep that to a minimum. So this is the interior of the Stingray. As you can tell, everything is what we call driver-centric. So compared to the C6s, if you've ever sat in one, which is more of an open, flat concept with a radio flat, everything's kind of been kiltered in, facing towards the radio. The passenger has this bar, and over there on that side you'll see temperature controls. Basically, they don't want the passengers messing with the driver, so everything's been driver-centered. So really upgraded interior. Again, this being the 1LT, will not have the leather-wrapped console here in the middle. Will also not have the leather-wrapped armrest that you would get in the next package up. And if you're ever wondering how to tell if it's a 3LT, if it has any colored interior like red, like this, red will be color matched on the center console, the armrests, and a 3LT only will have the color matched upper portion of the dash here, with the black being black at the very top so that it doesn't have to worry about glare. So red will be here and here on the higher packaged ones. So this is a 1LT, which again we talked about it being the 7-speed manual. Very easy to drive. When we took the cars onto the track for the first time there at Pahrump, they asked everybody, you know, can you drive a manual? Whether you said yes or no, they went ahead and checked the box, because again, just about everybody can drive one of these. It's super smooth. Talking about the interior here, the MyLink Color Touch radio will be standard on the vehicle. Navigation is an optional feature, which again we have on ours. So let's get this fired up, show you a few things about it. Don't have to worry about the radio. So again, really beautiful display, color. It is touchscreen. It works just like an extension of your iPhone or Android tablet or phone or anything like that. So here at the top we have little what I call apps. This is how you'll get around the vehicle. So if you want to listen to the radio, you push the audio button there. It looks like a speaker. If you want to make a phone call or see your contacts, you push the phone icon. Obviously everything is integrated, so when you pair your phone you can see your contacts, your recent calls, make a keypad. Obviously don't have one connected. The navigation is just the compass, so it'll show you your navigation screen. That performance data recorder that I mentioned is there. Again, if you have an SD card, which will be located right in there. The first time I sat in one of these cars and I knew that the PDR was available, I had no idea where it went. There is a center SD card reader that's in here. That's for music only. So it took me a long time to find that little spot. And once we found it, obviously we get all the information for performance data recorder. So you'll see some things that are applicable only to certain devices. For example, you'll see a Pandora app and the SMS text app. Those two apps specifically are used with the best compatibility with Android phones. iPhones obviously have very closed source proprietary software and everything like that. Android's a little bit more open, so you get full integration of Pandora and SMS texts with your Android device. iPhones can still get text messages, you just lose some of the functionality, so a little bit different. Talking about the radio some more here, it's really neat. We have a little hidden storage console. There's a button that says screen right here. When you push it, the screen will lower. It gives you access to a little cubby hole for storage, and there's a USB port in there that if you had music stored, you could just leave it in there. Now this is really cool because you can actually use that in conjunction with the video recorder in a setting called valet mode. Now valet mode is really cool because it's kind of like a safe at a hotel. You can put in a 4-digit PIN number, push the lock button after you confirm the same PIN number. You can use the same one every time, you can use a different one every time, it's up to you. And once it's in valet mode, it's going to disconnect your cell phone, it's going to lock the screen, it's going to lock the glove box. And again, if your settings were set up, if you had a memory card, it would automatically start recording PDR so that you could see if somebody that was driving your car was going too fast or too aggressive. No audio recording for legal purposes. in the valet mode, but you do get the video recording, so it's a really, really good feature. Once you get in the vehicle, just put in that 4-digit PIN number again, and that's my favorite part. It's actually a tell. If somebody was in here, even if they accidentally pushed that screen button, it will go down. So kind of keeps everybody honest, because if they were in here messing with the screen button and messing with the glove box, it kind of makes you double check everything that might be in here if you had personal belongings. So valet mode, use it. It's an awesome feature. That's a little bit about the radio. Again, just a quick overview. The rest of the buttons are going to be similar to what we talked about. You have 3 ways to control the radio. You have the touchscreen, you have some of the redundant buttons, which is part of the radio screen. You have a 5-way controller, which will control everything in the center screen here. And then you have voice control. We use natural voice recognition for easy push-to-talk features. You could push that button and say, call Taylor, and it would call me. You could push that button and say, XM51, and it would go to XM51, or the station name, the highway, either of those things. So it's really, really nice voice control system. One thing that's really neat about these 2015s, when you talk about technology and integration, you get Sirius I-Free and voice control with your cell phone. So one push of the push-to-talk button would open up the vehicle's push-to-talk information prompt, and a push and a hold of that button would actually bypass the vehicle and open up either Siri or S-Voice or Google Voice or whatever you have set up on your phone, so that you can say, you know, send a text message to Betty or remind me to pick up eggs on the way home. So really, really nice feature to have, being integrated. Lots of buttons on the steering wheel, but again, just some seat time will get you very familiar with it. On the right hand side, we talked about the 5-way controller controlling the information screen here. Now this is a really nice feature, showing the driver information center. Let's see if we can get it back up here. Alright, while that's coming up, we'll talk about the rest of the buttons. We have cruise control on the left hand side here at the thumbs, and then a couple of paddle style buttons underneath the steering wheel, either for radio favorites on the left hand side, volume control up and down on the right hand side. Other things that we'll talk about are the actual paddles. This is a manual equipped car, obviously, as we can see. These paddles will be that active rev match that we talked about. Now, their active rev match is again, a really cool feature. Essentially what it'll do is you'll pull that gear selector, the paddle shift, and when you're selecting gears, when you're downshifting, it will blip the throttle with precision to a specified, RPM range, so that it's a simple and easy gear change with no extra torque sent to the rear wheels, so no abrupt locking of the wheels trying to get all the torque at the same time. I don't know why it's not coming up. I'll mess with that later. The information screen there would show you everything from digital speedometer, trip computer information, everything like that. And depending on the car, if it's a higher equipped 2LT, 3LT, you will have a color heads-up display that will reflect, head-up display that will reflect the information there. So when you are looking straight at the windshield, it will display speedometer and radio station and everything like that. So this one is a 1LT. It's not available on the base car. Moving along, we have a new mode select button switch here, which is on every Corvette. Traditionally on the C6s, you only got this if you got the magnetic ride control. This mode selector button comes on every Stingray now, regardless if it has magnetic ride or not. So you have 5 driving modes altogether. They start with Eco, Weather, Sport, Tour, and Track. They will do different things, obviously, for the purpose. Weather is going to be if you get into rain or snow or anything like that, which snow on a Corvette, hopefully you don't have to do that, but depending on where you live. Weather will actually help engage the most traction control features and everything to where you're going to stay safe in the rain or anything like that. Then you go up one over to Eco. Eco is the only mode that will use what's called cylinder deactivation. The cylinder deactivation will cut off 4 cylinders of the 8's fuel to save gas. This vehicle is super smart, and with a 7-speed can get up of 29 miles per gallon estimated on the highway. So who knew that 460 horsepower could be efficient? The next one is going to be Sport, Tour, which is the next one up. That one will give a little bit less traction control activity, gives a little bit more ability to get more power to the wheels faster without it cutting in. Then you have Sport and then Track. So in a vehicle like this that does have the multi-mode exhaust, you can set it to where the exhaust tone and the steering wheel control is electric assist. So in the softer Tourer setting, you can have a quiet exhaust and a real soft and smooth, easy to use steering wheel. The Sport setting will actually go ahead and open up that exhaust for a louder tone, as well as a little bit stiffer steering wheel movement, and if you have magnetic ride, obviously a stiffer suspension setting. Then of course Track opens up the exhaust even more, all the way open, and gets a little bit even stiffer steering wheel, and if you had magnetic ride, of course, or a stiffer suspension altogether. So those are your mode selects. Of course, you have the traction control button. Obviously recommend it being on your everyday driving. Of course, you can turn it off for spirited driving on a racetrack and everything like that. So that's a little bit about the interior. I guess maybe because I've been sitting in here so long without starting it, it doesn't want to turn the rest of the radio back on. So again, first vehicle, bear with me. Before I do a walk around here, I wanted to show off the performance data recorder. I took the video on Friday night and worked on it a little bit Saturday and thought, you know what, why don't I just take a recording of the actual PDR and put it into this video. So this is the data recorder, audio and video, as you can see. There's a few things that you can do with it. The selection I have right now is Sport, so we have speedometer, gear selection, accelerometer. You can choose a no overlay, which is this one, which is nothing but driving and video and audio, no extra overlays. And then one of the cool ones that we have here is Track. So Track opens up a little bit more information to you to see. That's going to add accelerometer turns into a G bubble on the bottom left. You have throttle input, braking input, steering angle, and then performance lap timer will actually be able to add GPS tracking so that you can set the start and finish point of a racetrack. It will track you as you go, and you select the finish point, and every time you make a lap after that, it'll record your lap time. So a really cool feature to use. Of course, you can set the radio to go ahead and use the valet mode recording so that it will record video only, no audio while you're in valet mode, even while you're parked. So super cool technology. I like the Sport as my favorite. Track is also cool, but you can always use it almost like a dash cam, which I kind of mentioned earlier. So this is the performance data recorder in the 2015 Corvette Stingray. Really cool feature, and I think that's going to complete everything from my video. Thanks for watching.